Hello there, welcome to the Ramble Review, and today we're looking at Murder House. The Murder House is about a serial killer named the Easter Ripper, which is a dude in a big old rabbit suit with a scythe. He kidnaps and murders children. The prologue here shows us one of the kids he will end up killing. The kid wakes up in the mall by himself for some reason, and you would think they'd be like parents or security guards or something checking for this kid, but nope. He wakes up, he runs around the mall, in a very, very dark mall. Eventually he bumps into the Easter Ripper, and yeah, the sad ending happens basically. Years later, the Easter Ripper has been caught, killed, and now there's a news crew that you're a part of that is visiting the Easter Ripper's abandoned home. The news crew is kind of slimy. Well, at least the main dude is, the main producer, who the hell he is. It's pretty slimy. So you're doing this story, but it's all fake. Like, who is it haunting the area and so on and so forth. But it turns out the Easter Ripper is actually still around, and it wants yours and the rest of the crew's blood. So now your goal is to just get the hell out the place, and that's really it. The story itself is just okay. The characters aren't like terrible, but there's nothing that really pops out about them. It's the typical characters you would expect to be in this type of slasher situation. As you roam around the house, you can also find notes detailing what horrible things, at least not detailing, but like hinting at the horrible things that this serial killer has done to children. So yeah, the story is not really all that, like I said, all that amazing or anything like that. It's more of the notes and everything kind of bring out how horrible this place really is. That is a bit interesting. The gameplay itself is really similar to the Nun Massacre, which I reviewed a little while ago. Because it's made by the same team. Only thing this time you're in third person instead of first person. And you actually have more filters here too. So if you have way more filters. So if the main VCR filter really bugs you, you have a good amount of choice. Even one that gets rid of all of it, so it's nice and smooth. I kept the VCR filter because I don't know, it just fits these types of games. Like that's like the intended visual flair they wanted. So I just kept that filter, as you can see. I played around with them just to see it, but I just kept going back to the VCR filter. But yeah, the gameplay is you're running around, you finding items to go into other items. The puzzles, not really a lot of them. There's like one or two or so. Most of the solutions, if you need any solutions, is in some of the notes. But besides that, yeah, it's just find this, put this here. There is some issues though, at least, well, not some, like this was just really one big issue, that there's a gate that you're supposed to go to in the prologue after you get a key, but there's no indication of a fucking door. So you just gotta assume there's a door there and just hug the wall and press, the interact button to activate, which I don't understand at all. I don't know why they couldn't program a line or something just to show a wall. It was really dumb. But also in this game, you could save your game. Unlike Nun Massacre, which you have to sit and do it in one go. This one you could save by finding pencils around the abandoned house. I think there's enough pencils to give you, to be fair, to get to the end. I had at least like 2 or 3 left over by the time I got to the end. And this game is short, like really freaking short. Like, if you know what you're doing, 30 minutes tops. If you don't know what you're doing, an hour, maybe an hour and some change. But yeah, so I feel they give just enough pencils to get around. The killer here, I didn't run into the killer too much in this game compared to Nun Massacre. I don't know why. Like, I don't know, maybe he's not as aggressive. I had it on normal difficulty. I didn't put it on easy or anything like that. At least I don't think I did. Nah, I left it normal to see how it was. And I ran to the killer maybe once or twice, but yo, when the killer hits you, it hurts. I think it took me 1 or 2 hits to get almost to near death, and you do have items to heal yourself just in case. One thing I didn't care for is, at least with Nun Massacre, you had the option to turn it on and off, the little hint of when the nuns are getting close, like this TV static or whatever. This you don't. You got to listen with your ears, which unless you don't, if you don't, unless you have the TV blasting or you have your headphones on, you won't really hear it because you actually hear the killer breathing like heavily in the Easter bunny mask. That's how I knew the killer was around, and then you would, of course, go hiding or whatever like that. And that's really it. That's the gameplay. It's pretty simple, straightforward. If you're playing on Massacre, it's basically the same with a save system, and you're in third person. This game felt like it got more budget than on Massacre because there was actually voice acting. I was like, holy crap! I can't tell it was purposely bad, but it was serviceable enough. And I was like, wow, there's voice acting in this? That's actually, a nice little touch to give the game a little bit more of a life. The graphical style, of course, is like the PS1 looking graphics that they go for, which looks just fine with this. It fits just fine. And the violence in this game is actually pretty well done for the graphic style that it has. Like, you actually see someone get butchered in this game, and you're like, holy crap. And then you see the aftermath, and you're like, holy crap, that is violent. So that was pretty damn cool to see. Like, I hope, like, haven't played many of these puppet combo games. I guess I'll keep playing them as long as they come out like on PlayStation, like the network and stuff like that. 'Cause that's where I got this one from. And wow, the violence is actually really fucking like good for what this is. I actually wish there was more crew members to see the body count rise even more and see more creative kills. Also, the atmosphere is actually really oppressive. Like, it feels like a creepy ass abandoned house, or like a farmhouse or something. But it's like, yeah, it gives off that weird vibe. And there's even some visual, like, spookiness that goes heavy on, like one or two moments or anything like that. I like the design of the serial killer too. It's a killer Easter bunny, but it gives off that holy shit, especially like around the eyes and everything, and hearing the breathing. Like, it's wow, it's pretty damn good for what it is. And there are some sections in this house that hit to, like I said before, like the notes that hint to horrifying things. You kind of get some visual hints to that as well when you get to a certain point into the house, and you just like, damn, this is fucking dark. So yeah, it gives off that creepy horror atmosphere if you're looking for that. Also, it ran pretty smooth. I had it under 60. I was playing on the PS5, and I had it under 60 frames per second, and it never was a hitch or anything like that. It was no weird bugs or glitches, none like that. It was a pretty smooth experience. So yeah, I had a pretty good time with this game. Like I said before, I don't mind short but sweet games, which pretty much fits this game to a T. If you want just like a horror snack, this is not a bad pickup. This is my second puppet combo game, and by the looks of it, I will be buying more of them. They keep coming out on PSN. I will say that replay value is not a lot really here. At least when on Massacre, there was multiple scenarios, even though some of those were just like, painted different walls and like the things were kind of mixed up. But at least there was something there. Here, it's not really. Once you beat the prologue and once you beat the main campaign, it's pretty much done. You don't really need to play it again unless you want to speed run it or something. But like I said, still enjoyed it and would recommend for any horror fans, especially like, slashers and stuff like that. So hope you didn't mind my ramble, and for gamer's sake, keep gaming.